All right, everyone. It is 9:05, so thank you everyone for joining. I'm going to go ahead and pass the torch over to Sheila, who will be going over mobile manufactured homes on leased land. Sheila, thank you very much for joining and doing this training for us. And the floor is yours, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you for asking. Welcome all of you to TRIAD and our mobile home financing. There's only four lenders out there, and we're one of the best. We are the best. We have a 300-month term, which nobody else has, which will help you a lot in your financing. I'm going to start at the beginning on how to submit an application and go through the process. When I'm done, you can ask all your questions. All we're required, first of all, there's no credentials, no logins, no CDs, no disclosures, and no credit. This is a personal property loan, and yes, it will require homeowner's insurance. All we require going in is a completed 1003 and the information on the house. I sent a thing called the sales sheet. We're looking for 7 things on the house: the make, model, purchase price, down payment, year of the house, space, rent, and address. 7 things, and a completed 1003. We do not want your conditions. We don't want your credit bureau. We pull Equifax only. You cannot charge for a credit bureau. You cannot charge a processing fee because we do. So when you're sending your applications in, they're all going to go to for the California office, which handles California, Arizona, New Mexico, Washington, and Oregon. They're all going to go to CA. They're all going to go to CA processing at triadfs.com. It's on your rate sheet. It's also in stuff that I sent you. Our turnaround time for an application is 48 hours. And for whatever reason, I'm breaking out. Once you get your approval, on the left-hand side, there will be conditions, just like your mortgage conditions, your VOE, your VOI. At that point, you will collect your conditions and everything goes to CA conditions at triadfs.com. There is an online system. It is not as fast as the email, and there is no portal for you. There is no website for you to go to. The rate sheets get emailed out from corporate office and from me. We do not change very often. Our last rate sheet was changed on 9/6. We've only had 3 changes in the past 2 years. So don't look for rate sheets every day because they won't be there. And there is no place for you to go online. If you want anything, you can email me or call me. I always answer my phone. I travel during the day, so I'm not always available by email. So I do emails early in the morning and late at night. So if
And
you
Sheila,
really,
Sheila,
if
if you
you
don't mind, team, if you guys need pricing, if you can reach out to Ruben, and Ruben is our secondary department, so I'll have him reach out directly to you, so you're not getting 100 emails or 100 calls from people. We'll direct everything through Ruben, so you have one main point of contact, ma'am.
perfect. I appreciate that. And when they go out, make sure that we get this to dealer services so that they send everything to Ruben. Because when they send them out, they will send them out, but then they also ask us to send them out. So just I want to keep you up to date, but
Perfect.
we don't change that often. So once you get your conditions cleared, our DTI on the front end is 40.99. Overall, it's 48. Front end 40.99 includes space rent, house, taxes, and insurance. You need to ask your seller on a used house how much the insurance was to make sure you're in DTI. I had one go south the other day because they didn't find out how much the taxes were, and they went from $300 to $1,300, which threw them out of debt ratio. So please check so that you know up front. We will order a tax cert and a flood cert, but you're on the used houses, your seller will know, and each county is different. So it's not all the same. Once you get your conditions cleared, you will get an email back that says you're ready for appraisal. In the state of California only, we have an approved appraisers list. We do not use AMCs but they are approved appraisers. That is only for California. Do you do business in other states as well? How many states do I have on here?
Oregon
Oregon,
as well. You have Oregon, Washington.
Washington.
Okay, so California is the only one that does a full appraisal. The other states we use Datacom, and you have to get your on either or. You have to get the information from your customer on their credit card, and you personally will call and order the appraisal. We do not, and you'll have it sent to TRIAD.
For Arizona, it's the same thing?
Pardon?
For Arizona?
Arizona's Datacom. Everything is Datacom except California.
So, team, we'll get approved with Datacom, and we'll keep it the same way. Send the email to appraisals at iCore Lending, and we'll take care of ordering your appraisal at corporate.
Really?
Yep.
But wouldn't it be faster if we take care of all that stuff instead of adding another layer, Darshan? Because I feel like that delays things.
It's really nobody else does it that way. Everybody orders it individually. It's up to you, but I've never done it that way before.
All right.
I've been at it for 25 years.
Okay. So we can touch base, and I will shoot an email out by the end of the day to kind of go over the steps, you guys.
Okay, because once you get the appraisal back, it's going to go to TRIAD, and TRIAD will send an approval out saying that your appraisal is good for a certain amount of money. So if it's good for 150,000 and you needed 160, then you're going to need a short appraisal form and a change in figures form. Anytime you change the numbers, you have to send in a change in figures form. That goes into CA conditions. Once you're past the appraisal and you get an approval for it'll say you're good to go to docs, you will fill out a contract order form. That will go to CA closing in our Anaheim office, CA closing at triadfs.com. All of our emails are first initial, last name at triadfs.com, and that includes the office in Anaheim. Anaheim handles the 5 states. Once you get your doc order in, they will order the tax cert and the flood cert. That takes 48 hours. Once we get back, you will get in line for docs. I'm telling everybody 72 hours for docs total. Once you get your docs, it does require a wet signature and a notary. In the state of California, it requires escrow. Arizona, anything over 50,000 requires escrow. So once your customers go to escrow or wherever they're going to sign, you can have them scan the docs back to CA closing and overnight the docs back for the next morning. Normally it takes 2 days to fund. Your customer will also have to do a phone audit. They will call the California office after they sign and go over their contract and say that the house is ready to move into. After that, as long as all of your conditions are cleared, you're ready to fund. Closing time for funding is 12 o'clock. We fund from East Coast time because we fund out of our corporate office. Once you're done with that, you're done and they will send your check. So now you can answer all your questions. The only houses we do, let me add one more thing, 1976 and above must have a HUD tag. We also do park models. We charge a $1,600 fee for brokers. Concessions, you can use up to the amount of the fees for seller concessions, and that includes for a buy down. Exceptions are few and far between. I very seldom ask for one. We have very, very good underwriters, and I have a fabulous team in the California office. I couldn't ask for better people to work with. I've been at TRIAD 15 years. So I'm done with my little speech. So now you guys can ask all your questions. Hello.
Good
Team
morning.
just
In regards to co-signers, can you have multiple co-signers for the property?
We only have a co-signer for limited credit. We do not have a cosigner program other than that. We don't have a buy-for program. And most of the time, we can't use it for debt ratio. We can only use it for limited credit. If in the event, that's when we require an installment loan of at least 10% of the amount to finance. So if you have a $100,000 loan, they needed to have a $10,000 installment loan paid out. If they don't have an installment loan, they're going to need 24 months verification of rent.
Got it. Thank you.
Quick question. Do you guys have I-10 programs, correct?
Do we have what?
I-10 programs for those with I-10
No.
cards?
We'll accept a green card, but we don't have an I-10 program.
Sheila, do you guys do single wides?
We do single wides.
Okay.
Also, in the parks, you have to have at least one comp. So we require 3 comps on a used home. You have to have one within the last 12 months. And if it's a single wide, it's got to be a single wide. If it's double wide, it's got to be a double wide. But we do require at least one in the park, and it goes outside the park for the other 2 within 5 miles.
I just want to confirm, you said Oregon and Washington doesn't need escrow, just Arizona and California?
Pardon?
You said you don't need to have signing an escrow in Oregon and Washington, just a
I don't
notary?
know about, I don't handle Oregon and Washington. That's actually Neil, and he's on vacation. I handle Arizona, New Mexico, and California. I'm not sure what the requirements are for the other 2 states, but I could find out for you.
Thank you.
I haven't ever heard that they require escrow, but I honestly don't know.
Do you guys have matrix or guidelines that we can get copies of?
I sent the
Yeah,
guidelines out.
Sheila sent it over to me. I will have them sent over to you in the next 30 minutes.
Thank you.
And the guidelines are not what you're normally used to for mortgages, but you have to remember that this is a consumer loan. It's not a mortgage. There is no PMI. The fees are very minimal. The other fees besides ours would be escrow. Our fees come to about $2,000. And you would have to find out from your current area what the other fees were. And like I said, each county is different. So that's something you'll need to explore. But yes, I sent the rate sheets, the guidelines, how to fill out our application, what to send. I sent all that this morning.
From beginning to end, what would you say is the typical amount or length of time that it'll close?
30
It'll
to
take to close.
45 days. 30 to 45 days.
Okay.
Please don't tell your customers they can close in 15 days because they can't. Then you're going to have unhappy people everywhere. I had 2 last month. Neither one of them closed. Everybody was upset. It's not going to happen in 15 days. Unless you walk on water, and it's just not going to happen, period. And especially, if you really want your customer to close fast, close them in the middle of the month, not the end of the month. We funded out of the California office last month over 300 loans. Everybody wants to close at the end of the month. We understand that. But we can only accommodate so many. And we do a fabulous job. But please don't tell your customers they're going to close in 15 days because it's not going to happen. You can always call the California office for anything you need. I'm always available. Our underwriters are available. Our closing people are available. We will help walk you through completely from beginning to end. Everybody is pretty accommodating. And we look forward to having your business. Is there any other questions?
Quick question.
Let's say we send over an email to processing or to conditions and we wait the 48 hours for a response, and still nothing. Who do we respond to after that?
You can call the office.
Okay.
You can call me or them, either one. If I'm traveling, I don't always have access, but the receptionist always can tell you if they received it and why you haven't got an answer. It doesn't happen very often, but I mean, occasionally it happens. We're changing a lot of our computer systems at the moment, so we've had some issues the last couple of weeks.
I'm sure it's just like just odd thing that happened. So if anything, it's good to have a contact. Thank you so much.
You're quite welcome. If you don't get an answer on something within 48 hours, whether it be the appraisal, your conditions, or anything, then you need to call me or somebody at the office. And I don't think I sent the office roster, but I will.
Perfect. When you send that over, Sheila, I'll send it over with the matrix and the guides that you sent me.
Okay, and I'll send the appraisal, approved appraisers for California also. And Datacomp is just datacomp.com, Datacomp USA. But that should be in the application process that I sent you.
What about compensation?
Compensation out of the California office only is 3% lender paid. The rest of the United States is 2% lender paid. That has nothing to do with your rate sheet, has nothing to do with yield spread. That is free money to you. It actually comes out of my side, the commission side. So you can do 3% lender paid, or you can do up to 5% borrower paid. And the smaller loans, if it falls into the HOPA guidelines, they will adjust your fee, our fee, or any fees that need to be adjusted to get it in line. It's normally on loans under 50,000. I don't see a lot of adjustments.
Just so I'm understanding correctly, it's whenever we send loans over to the California office, it's 3% letter paid, correct?
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
You just need to write 3% LPC.
Awesome.
And are the loans 30 years, 20 years, 15 adjustable?
Our term is 25 years max for anything over 40,000. Under 40,000 is 20 years. No,
Fixed rate or adjustable?
they're all a fixed rate, no prepayment penalty.
Thank you.
Does anyone have a scenario? I know a few people have reached out to David Tran with scenarios that we couldn't do. Since we have Sheila on the line, she can let you know if it would be a scenario that maybe in the past we weren't able to do and now we can. So I don't know if anyone has a scenario. I don't know if Vilma's on this call. I know she's had one. Oscar, I believe you've had one. If it's still there, or maybe we can revive that loan. If you want to ask Sheila any questions to see if we can revive that loan.
At the moment, we're good, Darshan. Thank you.
Oh, no worries, Oscar. Well, if there's no other questions, Sheila, thank you very much for your time. Again, team, I will send out the rate sheet, contact list, and the AMC's information. And then if you guys have any questions, I'll put Sheila's information on the email as well. And feel free to reach out. And thank you guys for your time, Sheila. Thank you for yours. And hopefully we'll get some deals over your way.
I look forward to dealing with you. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.